Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcat Sports Network. Time to catch up again with McKendree football coach Mike Babcock. And Coach, the end of spring practice is here for 2019. The spring game is tomorrow at 3:30 over at Lehman Field. Talk about goals accomplished during spring ball this year.
I think any place you go, especially this year for us, is like, can we get better? And I think we achieved that. Yes, we have another practice in our spring game tomorrow, but, in the 13 practices that we've already had, can we improve from where we started to where we are now? Can I get young guys to be better than they were? Can I get the older guys to be better leaders? And I think in every facet that we've had, I think we were able to achieve that.
Touch on the young guys first. I know probably a younger or a larger set of younger guys that didn't necessarily get as many reps during the fall season, some redshirt guys coming in. Talk about those younger guys and the progress they made in the spring.
Well, you look at the offensive side and you lose two seniors in Jalen Williams and Josh Reve, you're going to need some young guys to step up. Now, we've had wide receivers that are a little bit older that have done a nice job. But, we've had a couple freshmen come in here, with a guy like Tyler Seaver out of Carlisle and even Jeremiah Harris, who have done a nice job of gotten in the rotation and are learning from their mistakes. They're getting better every day. It's fun to watch them grow as wide receivers because we're going to definitely need them, this fall. Even at the quarterback position, I still think it's a three-way go with our three guys and Antonio Triplett, Brendan Dickman, and Turner Poland. All are doing a great job. They're obviously making mistakes, as young quarterbacks do, but at the same point, I see a lot of improvement from practice 1 to practice 13, and that's what I want, especially coming into the offseason all the way into fall. On the defensive side, there's a couple guys, I think up front, a guy like Jalen Gaskin, who was a true freshman last year as an interior lineman. I think he's doing a phenomenal job right now. He's playing fast, playing strong. Can always get better, but that's why they have practice. And then even out on the perimeter, I'm looking at young guys, maybe like a Darwin Perkins, who redshirted this last year. He's having a very good spring. Guys like Jaden Brown, Tony Bassoni before he got injured. A lot of these guys are having a really good spring as far as young guys, and hopefully they can make a movement come fall.
Touch on your upperclassmen. I know, like you said, we lost a bunch of probably 17, 18 seniors from last season, and you're looking to replace that senior crop. Talk about the veteran leadership you've seen during spring ball.
Well, it's amazing because every year is a new team. And I think this year, some of the guys that I see kind of really ramping up leadership-wise, when I look at the offensive side of the ball, I see guys on the front line like Jake Stevenson and Quinn Pulaski, who both have had phenomenal years last year. They're growing into their position. Quinn being a senior this next year, I think they're kind of really controlling that run game, quite a bit. Jace Franklin at running back, him and Preston Thompson really split time last year. Now he's coming into his own. At the wide receiver position, both Matt Cole and Steven Towns, I think, are doing a nice job too. So I think offensively, I think we've got some good leaders there. Defensively, we've been hit with the injury bug a little bit, but there are some guys that are starting to step up. A guy like Dakota Reed, who's a senior. Mike Smith, who's probably one of our best, players and leaders on the team. He's had a great spring. Guy like Peyton Rankin up front, so those are three seniors right there that are doing a great job of kind of corralling that side of the ball and getting better every day, and that's really what I've seen, and so it's been nice to see.
Let's look ahead to the spring game Saturday at 3:30 over at Lehman Field. A little bit different format than what we've seen in past years, more of a controlled scrimmage, but talk about what we expect to see and talk about what you expect to see out of your squad.
Well, instead of kind of splitting up the teams and only getting kind of half the reps, we're still going to go offense versus defense. I want a lot of reps. I want every guy to play. We're still evaluating. Everything's in an evaluation and everything that they do. So I want to see what happens. Can they mentally and physically prepare themselves for a game, more or less. Yes, we'll have kind of all ones versus ones, twos versus twos, threes versus threes. We'll have own officials, so it's not on me as the coach to say the offense did great or the defense did great or there's a penalty here or there. So we've got officials, so there's no more whining and complaining about missed calls or anything like that. But really, I want an injury-free, physical, fast type scrimmage, and leave it knowing that we've gotten better, that we finished that chapter in our book for this season, and we're ready to move on for the summer.
And then hard to believe it will be 4 months until spring or fall practice begins. What will be your message heading into the off season for the team?
That we've really just finished a chapter. It's not the chapter, but a chapter, and we're starting to come into the biggest chapter that we can before the season starts. So this is the one where you really have to gear up. Okay, so you really have to get in the weight room. You have to get out on the field and condition. You have to do the extra throwing and 7-on-7 and all those little things, those extra things to prepare yourself for the season. You only have 11 opportunities in a given year, and you have 354 days to prepare. So right now we've got 4 months, so you've got about 120 days. What are you going to do in those 120 days? And are you going to take any days off, or are you going to get better? Are you worried about the process? That's what I want guys to continue worried about. All the details, those little things. Worry about the process.
Weather should hold up. It should be a great afternoon. Coach, good luck tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't forget spring game tomorrow, Saturday, April 13th, 3:30 p.m. at Lehman Field. Also follow us online at www.mckbearcats.com.